bad. Can you try and sing it?
Oh, evening. Wow. Ooh, long day for me today. That's for sure. I'm amazed I'm still standing, but we are, of course, bringing you the show tonight. And you have with us Carl and, of course, Gavin. Andy isn't around. He's in the chat, though. I think he was hanging around Gavin too much, and he's fallen foul of Gavin's bug that kept him out on Saturday night. So, but as Gavin's trying to get his setup sorted there. So anyway, Carl, how are we doing? How's your week been? You've got the odd day off tonight and then back to it for a couple of days, I think you said earlier.
Yeah, another busy week. There's no let up just yet with the whole winter pressures and stuff. But yeah, just a couple of nights off and back again tomorrow. And then I've got a whole weekend off to enjoy the game. So yeah, roll on Saturday.
That's all right. As Gavin whispers into his mic and we can hear him, I think he's lost sound. Gavin, are you there? No, he's lost his sound. So in the lobby, folks, he was like, I can't hear. He said, can you hear me? And we're like going, yes. He goes, can you hear me? And we're going, yes. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Hang on, I've muted him now. Are you back?
I'm back.
There you go. I muted you because you were, sort of blaspheming down your microphone without realizing it.
Yeah, no, I did realise it. I just didn't realise I was on air, fellas.
We caught him out. Remember, it's a 2-minute countdown now. Anyway, how's your week been, Gav? I think it's been as pretty mental as mine.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Nikki's just made my day with good evening, gents, and Carl. She obviously knows him better than
you
me.
wait till I see her next.
How's your week?
Yeah, I'm very well. I'm having to use the downstairs today because we're having some home improvements and there's beds everywhere. Anyway, so my usual spot in the house is gone. So I'm having an IT nightmare.
Good.
Sorry.
Well, here we go, folks. We're back tonight. No Tuesday night game, which is quite good sometimes because just the week adds to the week and the pressures of getting all the build-up done. But we welcome you all in from wherever you're watching tonight and equally the keyboard warriors that seem to be out and about in sports recently. And some people just can't take it. Anyway, we move on. We got the people that care, that enjoy watching the show, and that's all that matters. Thanks for doing that down the microphone, Gav. I mean, you do have a mute button for all the podcast listeners.
He's still after for some sympathy by the sounds of it.
Yeah. By the way, I listened to the last pod. I won't use the word I was going to use, but thanks for all the support. And my mattress was exceptionally moist. So I've walked. I wouldn't say I've walked a few miles in some of our bedwetter shoes, but I've probably walked a few 100 yards with a moist mattress. So now I know how it feels.
I knew those flippers would come in useful.
Oh, no, I'm coughing. God, we're spreading it around the pod. Anyway, so, I mean, we got to the end of the transfer window. We had 2 signings. Yes, they were loan signings, and we'll come on to them in a minute. Wes Harding and Herbie Kane. So I'm not sure whether I thought that was actually good, bad, or indifferent come the end, but we'll discuss that in a moment. Of course, we're playing Lincoln on Saturday, which is probably our biggest test so far because of the form that they are in. They do top the form table, and they are also second behind Cardiff in the league. So that's going to be a big test, certainly at home. Obviously, we spoke about the game the other day, and it was disappointing, against Mansfield to not come away after what was a dominant first half. But, it seems to be 2 games now where we let slip the second. Obviously, no rules as well. We'll come on to the news. He's out for a bit longer, which is a shame because he was a stalwart in midfield. But yeah, I think we'll come on to start with to the transfer news, I think. And Carl, I'll come to you first. Obviously, let me bring him up. We got Wes Harding, who, was the first. Was he the first or second to be announced?
Yeah, he was first. He was first one.
So, he's experienced. He's from Watford. He's got some championship pedigree there. It is a loan to the end of the season. But Millwall. He's a good addition, don't you not think?
Yeah, you got him from Millwall, not Watford.
Sorry.
But he hasn't played a lot in the last few months at Millwall, hence the loan. I think this is the first loan he's had as well mid-season. He's normally gone into clubs in the summer, so it's a bit of a different challenge for him. But he seems up for it. He's fit, ready to go. And yeah, it will be interesting to see if he comes straight in from the off on Saturday. I think he potentially will. It's just where he fits in the back four. But yeah, looking at some of his highlights and some of the comments from the Millwall fans, he said he's going to smash it at this level. He's a no-nonsense centre-back, great in the air, loves to tackle, hopefully a bit like Katic or Maxi was. So, yeah, something that we're probably lacking a little bit. And I think he's a solid signing again.
Yeah, I'm sort of pleased with it. I mean, I put out a few slides on the socials in the week when obviously they were the two players were announced, and you can see obviously the Argyle picture there. And Andy, it's not regurgitating content. We like to recycle because those possibilities are endless. So he started Wes at Aston Villa and Birmingham as a youth development through top academies, senior breakthrough, came at Birmingham City. He then went to Rotherham United in 2020, regular starter across League One and Championship campaigns. Millwall then, obviously not Watford, thank you, Carl. 2023, versatile defender in competitive Championship football. And obviously then joined us this transfer window on loan. I have got his player traits, but Gav, before I come to that, what's your reaction to the appointment of or signing of Wes Harding?
Really positive. I think I think he can play anywhere along the back four. I had lunch with James Greenacre today. Thanks, James, friend of the show. James Voisey used to work for him at the commercial team at Argyle. Is now the commercial director at Millwall, which was nice. And he rang up and said, "What's the crack?" And apparently, he's really well thought of in the dressing room. Just hasn't had game time. I think a lot of the fans feel that he should have been given a bit more, and he hasn't. And he can play fullback or centre half effectively well, and apparently he is really, really good in the dressing room, a real leader. So I'm looking forward to it. I've got him in my team for tomorrow. I won't say where yet and ruin the surprise. But yeah, I think this is probably going to end up being, I might be wrong, but I think this is probably going to end up being the best signing of the January window. There you go.
Ooh, interesting. So there's this player
better
trait.
Than Curtis, Gav. That's a claim.
So sorry.
Better than Curtis. That's a claim.
Yeah, absolutely. And Curtis is very good. So yeah, I mean we're blessed. We've got some very good talent at the back, but it looks like Brendan Galloway's got some kind of abdominal issue. So if he's torn an abdominal muscle, that's going to be weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, sadly, after coming good, and he's been nominated for the Fans Player of the Month, I think, is from what I'd seen earlier. I've been absolutely a flat out week, really. So apologies if I seem a little bit scatty today because it has been a bit mental. But yeah, look at his player traits on there. Obviously, with the defensive aerial duels, 196%, 71% defensive contributions, and 82% on goals. So his sort of his graph there it looks quite strong compared to ones we've seen before, and I'm interested to see what he can come down and do, and whether or not he will, sort of come good as compared to Ronan Curtis. Different player, but if we can get two really good loan signings, maybe three with Herbie Kane, then it will be a good window. And I think, sort of Gavin, the thing with these two signings, there was a bit of, let's just say, not a to-do, but I was being professional on Facebook, just in response to someone just moaning that, why have we gone for loans and we need to be getting contract players in and all that sort of stuff. And I sort of responded back saying, well, there is the case of the club hedging their bets to a degree, because at the end of the day, they don't want to, as my son's going to get thrown out of this window in a minute, they don't want to risk everything, because our position isn't, sort of stable and fantastic. And equally, if we do well at the end of the season, then we equally don't want to sort of commit too much when we might have better options. And above all else, Gavin, Whitaker, Mumba, we've had some great loans that we've then signed afterwards. So I said to the person, there is that to consider. And he just turned round and responded going, Simon Allett's a cheapskate. He's a mug. The game's a mug. You're all a mug. And I just replied saying, well, we do sell mugs, so we're in that game. But other than that, thank you for your time. It's just like, what people's problems at the moment are just crazy, Gav. It's just nuts. But these could turn out to be two really good signings along with Ronan Curtis.
Well, firstly, I'll say it does sound like my reinvestment back into Hypnos last week is going to be very profitable. So that's good. Secondly, around loan signings. I think it's a difficult one this time of year. I think if you're top 2, top 3, and you're thinking you're going to go up, even top 5, and you think you're going to go up, you probably then stretch the budget a bit and maybe eat into reserves that you probably aren't comfortable in doing. We're currently sitting 15th. We're 11 points, I think, off of 6th place. We're going to have to be like champions to 101 form for the rest of the season, I think, to get in that playoff place, which I'm not saying isn't doable, because we all know how bad the league is. But it's not likely. It's doable, but it's not likely. So therefore, strengthening the squad, and I think it just epitomised the Stockport away game where we had them on toast in the first half, and then everybody's legs started to go, and we had absolutely no one of quality to bring on either at centre half when everyone was on their feet, or centre mid when everyone was on their feet, off their feet. And then we lost the game because we basically ran out of steam with 2 quite soft goals to concede. So I think we've plugged the right holes. I think we've done it in a very cost-effective way. And let's all remember, and I know that the bedwetters aren't going to like this, are they? But let's all remember, we've managed to get really good funds back in for Ballymumba, replacing with someone who is probably 20% of the cost that we've sold him for.
Yeah.
But just the most important thing on this is not the income, it's the salary. So Ballymumba would have been top 2, top 3 in our club of salaries. So we've probably got all these 3 players for not much more than what we were paying Ballymumba. So on that basis, you've got to doff the hat to King Derek and say phenomenal piece of business. Now we've not seen Harding kick a ball yet, and we've not seen brain's gone. Midfielder, sorry, remind me.
Harry Kane.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't remember. Forget Kane, and we haven't seen Kane kick a ball yet. I've seen his highlights, but that's by the by. But what you can say is the salary distribution has meant we've got 3 for 1. We all know we've had some losses incurred from last year, and that was sort of mainly propped up by profiteering on our sales for our players. So I think they've done absolutely the right thing. A lot of people will disagree with me and say, why don't we just, overdraft the stadium, sell it back to the council for £5 million and bring in some half chancer that can tear his hamstring after 10 minutes. Probably not the right way to go, if I have to say. And I think, we're a very solid club, and we're very, very prudent with our financial decisions. And I think this has been a very good window with the resources we have. Would we have liked a striker? I think everyone would have done that. And I watched TC's Cornwall round table or forum, whatever you want to call it, townhouse
table, traitor style,
whatever it's called, townhouse. And I thought he played that really well, which was, of course, everyone wants a striker, but they cost too much money. But I think he would be pretty happy with what he's got. He's strengthened in the areas that are required, with not half chances, not people that are potential, not people that had 5 good games for someone last season. Both players have got many hundreds of games under their belt in this division or higher, and have had valuable contributions to the teams they've played in up until recently, and that's why they're on loan with us. So they'll have a lot to prove, I'm sure. Kane will have a lot to prove, because he was earlier in the season, he was one of the better players in that side. Now he's been let go to probably prove himself here, and it does look like that Harding has had not the best run of the green, and he'll be coming down here chomping at the bit. But I will say that the interview I saw him, and especially the press conference, or not the press conference today. Was it press conference? Yeah, it was press conference, wasn't it? Yeah. I thought he was out. So I've seen so many club things today this afternoon. It's all gone at one. I thought he spoke brilliantly. He sounds like a proper decent human being who's coming down here to do a very good job, and he'll be very focused. So I think both of the signings in the last day of the window have been prudent. We haven't seen him kick a football yet, so we can't say they're absolutely great. But that, with the business we did for Hardy and Curtis Peace and Rolls, really, because Rolls has not really got going until January. I think we've done really, really well.
I think it'd be really good.
Going back to the striker situation, I think if we wanted to get a striker, in which probably a lot of us probably wanted, I think then you'd have to let another one out of the
Yeah.
squad. Obviously, Belarus has been very unlucky with that today, or the last couple of
100%.
days when the news was told. So who else would you have dropped from that squad to bring in a striker?
Correct.
It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's everyone's got their place. So it's I think it's very easy, isn't it, to say, oh, we'll do this, we need that, and anyone can be a keyboard warrior sitting in their nan's basement and say, this is what we're doing, and why don't you spend 500 million on so and so? It's just nonsense. I think the club have done well. Are we going to be? Have we got a nailed on squad to get 2 points a game between now and the end of the season? No. But actually, the team's been playing with a bit of confidence. I think 4-4-2 suits us. We got a really good if we can got the energy to have a high press and have players coming on beyond the starting 11 that can do that and more. Going back to some of what Miron was saying was, when the finishers come on, they've got to do as well as the guys that are on the pitch or better. And we've not had that because we haven't had the strength and depth. I think with the areas we've strengthened now, we probably have. And therefore, with Talai back, and if you look at Ibrahim and all the guys that are coming back, I think TC said it today, 6-7 potential starters coming back in the squad in the next 2 weeks. We will have a decent run of it.
Sorry, did I hear Gavin say 6-7 then?
We've all got kids, and it's lovely.
I was just going to say, no, I totally agree. And I just want to, so we don't forget about him, but obviously Herbie Kane was the other one that was announced. And yeah, Bristol to Liverpool, started at Bristol City, moved to Liverpool in 2013, EFL Cup debut in 2019. Random bit of fact it pulled out there. Loan development, Doncaster, 38 games, 4 goals. Hull City, 9 games, 2 goals. Then at Oxford United as well. Barnsley breakthrough, 100+ appearances, key midfielder, EFL League One Player of the Month in December 23. And Huddersfield and Argyle, 3-year deal. Obviously, for us, that's not right. Now, sorry, a 3-year deal at Huddersfield, on loan to us until the end of the season. Apologies. So look, I think it's going to be interesting. The players coming back, I agree with Gav. I haven't watched the presser. I haven't had chance. We've got the quotes in a minute, which I'll pull up. But I think it will be good. Time will tell at the end of the season. I've got no issues as well. Neither has Carl, who also works through the socials with myself. Is not. We don't have an issue with anybody challenging something. We'll go back and give a viewpoint from the pod, but. Yeah, at the end of the day,
the best one. I think the best one today was I've only been a fan for 4 years, which is news to me. But there you go.
He's only had his beard for 3 months as well. Not like what relevance that has.
In the beginning of those 4 years, Carl, you had an afro. How things have gone?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
It's grown from the top to the bottom, you see. So.
Hang on, let me just sit back down a minute.
Well, to be fair, it's followed Argyle's performance.
Yeah.
So, right, let me read out some comments because I'm a bit late getting to you all. Like I said to you, I'm holding myself up here tonight. So thank you all those that have joined us. Good few of you on YouTube and across the other platforms as well. It's a quiet one tonight, though. I think when you have that long gap and... it does break up things a little bit, doesn't it? But we've also got Heather is in. She'll be joining us later to go through the women's update for you all. Michael Hawke saying, evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Matt Montgomery saying, evening, gents, and the Block 9 podcast crew. Welcome back, Gavin. Hope you're feeling better. Andy's also, like I said, in the chat as well. And I think someone's replying on our X account and someone's replying on our Facebook account. I don't know who's who. One will be...
I'm on X, Andy's on Facebook.
There you go.
That
explains it. Stephen Cooper said, Matt Argo 83 says, evening. Good to see you in, Matt. Stephen Cooper says, evening, Mike. Seeing you Tuesday going for dinner. Looked like you were going Marks and Spencer's. Well, probably for lunch, or it might have been after work when I was getting some meatballs and some sauce for me and my son. There you go. I'll call the police later, though, if you're,
He's in your back garden now in a tent.
Yeah, good to see you, Stephen. Obviously, I do work in that range building just over the road, so it's dangerous to be near M&S, Audi, and all that lot down there. Debbie Firth, evening to you. She said, good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. We got Nikki's in as well. Good evening, gents and Carl, as that made Gavin chuckle earlier on. Baz in the Cloud says, evening, chaps. We've also got, who else we got in? Colonel85 says, good evening, gents. Hope you all enjoyed the YouTube video of the Plymouth Argyle Cornish Supporters Association Fans Forum. Any comments? I'll come back to that afterwards because I know Carl's definitely seen that, and Gavin, I haven't, so it'd be good to hear. We've also got, let me scroll down, Peter Hemwood's also saying good evening, everyone. We've also got in tonight, Alex at Argyle says, evening all, we will lose 1-0 on Saturday, unfortunately. That's the positive spirit we like, Alex. He also comments a little bit later on, but Matt said, got to get Lincoln quick on Saturday. Don't let them play or settle, get the first goal. Yeah, that would be another one where we do need to try and grab that lead. Adam Sussex, evening to you. Looking short on players for Saturday against a good team. We'll come on to that as well when we review that game and go through the player lineups. Ethan Prosser, I'll just pick out some new ones. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's looking forward to this Saturday. Yeah, I certainly am myself. What we got? Adam Sussex saying, off topic, but does anyone think Rooney knew who Azaka was when he came in, said he was exciting, or just asked for a young lad's name? He must have poor attitude and a lack of talent as he hasn't kicked a ball. Part of me said before that I wonder if stuff's going on in the background there. Bo Sundrup is in as well. Good to see you in again, Bo. So evening to you. And what else have we got? Let me scroll down a few more before we digress over. I'll tell you what, Ben Bennett Florin's in, so shout out to him. He sits just in the row in front of us in the block 9. I'll tell you what we'll come to. We'll come to the Cornish Fans Forum. So Kerno sent us a few photos. I haven't had time to put them out, but he shared some with us in our WhatsApp group, and then obviously there's a video up on YouTube under their link, which we'll try and maybe get in the comments if Andy can pick that out. Carl, you've watched it. Good form from what I've seen in our WhatsApp group reaction. Mute your microphone, Gavin.
I have.
No, we haven't.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, a really, really enjoyable watch. So I thank the guys who filmed it and then popped it on YouTube. I think it was a really, really interesting watch. I think watching Nance anyway is just a barrel of laughs with the stories he comes out with and the love he's got for the club. And yeah, there's some really good questions from the audience. Well answered by obviously Clevs and Nance in general. But yeah, you can see how invested and how much pressure maybe he's been lifted off Cleverly's shoulders now. He looks a lot more happier. He doesn't look as stressed. Obviously, the results in the last few months have helped that, but you can see that he really, really wants us to work. He's totally invested in the club, knows a lot about the history. Obviously, he did a lot of research before coming down. Nance showing him around the city, and that photo midweek of them going off for a run after work down towards the Sparksy Memorial was brilliant to see, or Muriel, so to speak. And yeah, he just seems to be, just really, really invested. And I just hope that now we've picked up form with players coming back. He's been backed in the window. Things start to improve, and we can get fully behind him again. Yes, we knew a few months ago wasn't good enough, and a lot of us, apart from Gavin, wanted him gone. But fair play to him. He stuck at it, and we got through the bad patch. And now onwards and upwards. But yeah, it was a great watch. And for anyone that hasn't seen it, obviously it's on YouTube, and see if you can watch it. But yeah, really, really impressed with the standard of answers as well. And nice to know that if Pilgrim Pete ever pulls up with an injury, that Nance would jump in the suit next week. So that'd be great.
Well, he keeps tripping up a lot when he's heading off the pitch, so he might pull something at some stage. Kerno also saying, Ian, as he's called, is also saying Clev's had his dad down as well for the fans forum. He is down for the game as well. It's great that, I mean, the behind the green scene as well, Gavin, that was obviously aired last week, was a good insight. And I know some people can look at it as being it's a little bit dressed up at times, but you could see that they were just sort of he just wanted to get on with it, and sometimes when you're that busy it's more of a hindrance than anything, but yeah, he does look a little bit more refreshed. It was great that what Carl's just said and what I saw in the comments, the camaraderie with him and Nance, it's right, the board stuck with him, and hopefully it does end up proving to be a good thing, and we can move on to bigger and better things.
I thought it was refreshingly honest. There weren't that many staged questions like there has been sometimes, certainly in the AP of the fans forums. Hello. You just come to the best bit. It's me talking. I thought it was very good. I thought they're both really authentic human beings, which makes it really, doesn't it? They're both very honest and open and passionate about what they do, and that shines in abundance. And you can, if you hadn't sort of worked out the dynamic before, I think it was really clearly articulated why they keep Nance around, because he was just excellent. It's just the whole thing he was talking about with regards to like when you have a new manager, is it hard to adapt and all the other bits that go with it. His answer I thought was outstanding there in terms of that he has to adapt to each manager, but he keeps to his authentic self, and that he's he can only do what he's told, but his job is to be the welcomer into the club and all that good stuff that goes with it. So I thought they both complement each other really well. There's clearly a lot of warmth. I mean, you don't get invited to someone's house, do you, to see what's going on, and TC's been up to Shares Nanscoville by the sounds of it, so you don't get that type of sort of out of work camaraderie without being close at work, and it just shows that head down, arse up, really hard work gets you where you need to be, and that was probably the answer that I got out of that. Where I can't, it might have been Graham actually from the Argyle Off Pod saying, well, you had a really awful beginning. How did you feel getting through it? And Nance picked the question up and said, we just worked harder. So I thought that was sort of like the consistent answer that he was giving to Argyle Life, to Argyle TV, and also the consistent answer he was given afterwards, and the fact that Nance said it too made me feel that actually everything that's been said so far has been pretty authentic.
Yeah, I'm going to try and catch up with it. It's always busy as well, just getting stuff done with this and stuff like that. But and as Colonel Ian's, I just posted that on the screen there just to highlight it. But all the questions were not pre-submitted for the Cornish Association Forum. It was all off the cuff, which I think makes that even better. Just going to read some comments down here. I did bring Heather in because she was sat in the lobby, and although it's early, it's like, well, we haven't got Andy.
You should have left me there.
Yeah.
Caught me by surprise.
Love it. I told you I might not be flowing that well tonight because I'm tired. What we got? So let me scroll up. Nicholas G says Nance was very passionate about Argyle when he played for us. So obviously that echoing as it always does in there. Nikki just saying with regards to Herbie Kane, he has been in full training for weeks before coming to us. Just wasn't getting into the matches with Huddersfield. He did pick up an injury, I think, Carl, was it end of September? So that did keep him out.
He hasn't played since then.
Yeah, so...
if he's passed the medical, he must mean he's in good condition, so hopefully match fitness will come.
Clem said in the press conference today he's ready to go.
So, fine. So that's
I don't think he'll start Saturday, but he's ready to go.
Yeah, and Colonel 85 Ian said also former director Trevor East came along to the fans forum, and Clement Nance had time for all. Finley, who does the Argyle or the PAFC News Hub on X and all the other social platforms that we tend to retweet. We don't tend to copy his and then put it in our own post. No, we retweet his. He's sorry, I can't stop. He got a photo taken and shared that with us as well in the WhatsApp group. So he said it was a brilliant evening out. Stephen Cooper said, I see Lincoln travelling today, staying in Bristol tonight and coming down to Plymouth on Friday. Do we smell something down here then? So an Argyle Days 1 is in. I did see a couple of others join. Let me try and find them. Terry Alford, evening to you, Terry. He says, Nance stole the show. Dad the Janner was also in not long ago saying evening all, ready for the new, really like the new centre back, I should say. Soul as well. Soul Edits, evening to you. He did ask a question earlier. Where is it? Let me go back up. He said, oh, how are you all doing? Yeah, we're all good. Right. Where am I going to next? So anything... We got a cat as Heather, for those of you listening post. I'm
going to be very careful of what I say next.
Yeah.
Because he kept looking about to jump on the table and kept looking like that, and Carl was laughing at me, so I had to show it's a cat that's in the way.
Causing chaos in your Argyle bedroom, which isn't your daughter's. Just don't deny it. I said it before. Anyway, Carl, was there any other tidbits that came out of? There was something on. Actually, I did catch the odd notification in the WhatsApp today. Victor Poulsen. There was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saying that he was the player that he was sad to lose the most, because he was a nice guy.
The question was something along the lines of, what's been your toughest decision as coach for Argyle so far? And he was like, come back to me. And everyone was ready to go and have a beer at the bar. And they were like, oh, that question. Yeah. And then he basically said, Victor Poulsen's a solid human being. He was passionate. He was more passionate about the club than anyone else. And that was his hardest decision, having to let him go, which I thought Victor had a tough time when he was here. I think it's because he came in as Wayne's mate. That was the banner that was thrown at him. I thought he was a very good centre half, very organised. I think at this level he'd have been brilliant.
No, I mean, brilliantly summarised, Carl.
That's what I was just about to say. But thanks, Gav. You put it beautifully.
Do you know what I was so tempted to do? Mute you.
It's all right. I listen. I had your pair of dulcet tones for an hour and whatever it was on Saturday night without saying a word. So shut your noise.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But they're beautiful dulcet tones.
But it is interesting that he still texts cleverly and asks about results and the club, which is great to see.
Yeah, I think that's, he had a bit of a rough start, didn't he? But when Maxi Talavirov and Katic and that came in, he started to settle down in games as well, and he came on board. And I think, it's great to hear that players still keeping in touch and finding out how we're doing, which I'm sure.
I think his form under Rooney was very questionable. That's probably because he was playing at right back and he was being exposed by pacey wingers week in, week out. Playing at centre back under Music, he was very good.
Yeah, it was a big difference. So anything else? I can't think of anything else. Ian, Kerner 83, if you have got anything to add that you think we should discuss.
They did bring up Folkestone Park and obviously the investment that we made into that, and obviously the academy, the infrastructure, and obviously the home of the youth and the Argyle ladies when it's all finished. So that was covered. Just generally on the early season form as well, the lack of experience we had, all the usual stuff that we've heard in the media, but it was great listen.
I just put up, actually I found one of Ian's comments. He said Nant said about how he scored for Argyle and he was nervous for the FA Cup game against Brentford, like that.
Sorry mate, just on that, what the thing that surprised me the most there was, did you know that 2 players were taken sick the morning of, or an hour before the game, or 2 hours before the game on the Brentford morning? So Nant is already asked, he's like doing buttons, and he gets those 2 players, they can't play, they're sick. So he had to bring 2 players in who weren't in from the squad, and they still won. So no wonder he was having a bit of a day. Going against a team that I think was at the second best home record in Europe at the time, off memory. Where we couldn't score with a bankrupt Lady of Ill Repute away from home, and we end up winning 1-0. So there we go. Such is life.
It's those sort of stories that I mean, Nance, I'm sure you got loads, and we're always welcome to open you up to an episode on the live lounge. But it's that sort of stuff that goes well. Working on some stuff in the background to get a couple of other people on, and I need to get back to someone because we've missed each other this week. So Andy Prowse, if you're listening, I haven't forgotten. So I will get in touch with matey soon, so we can share some interesting insights about the club there. Let's be candid, as Andy has just posted. Matt Montgomery says my favourite defensive Argyle was Matthias Doumbé. Sorry about the spelling. Frenchman from Hibs was quality. Yeah, do remember him very, very well. Very good. Kerner 85, Ian saying signed 60 plus Man U programmes. Laughing out loud. Poor Cleverly. Truth Plim, evening to you, says for all the bedwetters who want Nance as manager, he made very clear he doesn't want it. I think that's the thing now, because he would almost it would ruin it, because it could go wrong, couldn't it? And then suddenly, you've enjoyed a really good experience with the club, the extreme highs, the lows, and you couldn't come back from that, could you? If it all went peak.
He's got a job for life being a coach, hasn't he? And like you say, if you step into the manager's role full time and the shit does hit the fan and he gets the sack, how can you recover from that?
Yeah, exactly. Andy just clarifying the name. If I remember correctly, Matthias Doumbé, was that
Doumbé,
it? Yeah. So when they used to do, the players used to read out their own names on BBC Radio Devon back in the day. And remember, Paul Watton, hardest shot, all 4 leagues. Just sticks in my head forever, that one. So moving on from the fans forum. Anyway, Heather, how you doing before we come later to and I've got a couple of treats in there for you as well. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah,
It's obviously being harassed by the cats. But I got both of them in here now.
They're going to cause havoc. They'll be known as the famous Block 9 cats down the line. Right, where am I going to here? Press conference. Come on, Edwards, get yourself organised. The streets won't forget Taribo West.
No, I was in response to Duke keeper.
Oh, apologies. There we go. VW Coco's in as well. Evening to you. And Harold is in the Harmar. He says, good evening from the Norwegian fan. I just received a lovely green blanket from Timu with big letters saying "We hate Exeter."
Brilliant.
Can you send me the link to that blanket? Could do with a source. Anyway, right, pull yourself together, Edwards. So TC on the Argyle's new edition in the press conference today said the experience of Wes and Herbie jumped out to us. Wes will fit into our defence perfectly with how we go forward. Herbie is an outstanding technician for this level and adds something different to our midfield. I'm really delighted with both of them. I couldn't be happier with the 3 additions we bought in January. TC says on Brendan Galloway is a worry. He's got some abdominal worries that will need to be looked at. We've lost a starter, which is tough. Lincoln have been outstanding. They are a really effective football team in all phases of the game. It is about us on the weekend, but we need to respect. Coming up against a strong outfit. Absolutely. Let me switch to the next slide. TC says on Hazard and Ibrahim should be back for Blackpool. Talai, hopefully, for that game as well. The problem with him has been the swelling, so it will be that game that we're hopeful for. So that's a shame that he won't make it. I think someone might have said that there's 7 players out. Plaguezuela will be the game after that, whether it's Leyton Orient or the potential and this ridiculous debacle of the virtual trophy game. With Luton and obviously Swindon, it's now Luton, and then there's a small matter of whose game is going to move. And I can tell you now, it better not be ours because we don't deserve that headache.
Well, I hope the club are insisting that.
Say again?
I said I hope the club are insisting that.
Oh yeah, we'll see. It would be really poor if it's anything different. TC says on the virtual fixture, he says the trophy game will be between 17th and 24th of February. Hopefully, it hasn't affected the fans too much, but we're glad that the EFL have listened to us with moving the date of the tie. Common sense would be for the game to be on the 24th, so only the league game is moved between us and Luton, but we will see. Eamon Benarous, as we alluded, or Cole alluded to it earlier, and we were a bit sort of, there was a lot of questions going on after I put out the post about the transfer window situation, the changes that happened this year in the league because of the Birmingham and Wrexham effect last season. So it's, is it 21 or 22? I've forgotten off the top of my head. 22. So we put out the post of what options we had left, which meant that if we brought in one would have to go. There was a bit of a debate across a couple of the social platforms on what the number actually was, but it was Ibrahim, I think, that was tipping the balance in the end. And obviously, Eamon Benarous has been the unfortunate casualty, as we've been talking about Brendan Galloway, to fall out of that. So cleverly did say today that Eamon Benarous has been taken out of the squad because of our squad size. He's been a great professional surrounding it all, but we're looking at the next possible step for him with him being out of contract in the summer. And that could mean a 30 or 90-day short-term loan to a non-league team. I mean, Gavin, it's a shame because he had some promise, but he did have these 2 niggling knee injuries and he just couldn't ever get into the game without picking something up and being sidelined again, could he?
No, he's been stop-start. The thing that's just going through my head at the minute is I wouldn't send him out on loan too quickly, because if Galloway's pulled or ripped a stomach muscle and has 2-3 months out, then they can deregister Galloway and register Benarous back in the squad. So which would give us a full complement again.
Can we re-register a player if we deregister?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, so if you look at the amount of players that Shuey's got, Blackpool there, Bolton. He's got about 330, but you can only register 22. So there's a lot of players out there. I mean, look at what Chelsea are doing. Chelsea have got another squad and a half playing reserved with the thing, and you can swap them in and out if they become unavailable, then you can swap them in and out, which is the whole point of having a larger squad. But I feel sorry for him. He's genuinely, technically, probably one of our better players. I think because we've had injury at left back and unavailability, he's been unlucky that he's been stuffed there because he's got a left peg. I think if you look at sort of the sliding doors moment between like him and Saranola, I would say they were both probably similar players in terms of profile and stuff. One's had a good rub of the green and took his chances. One hasn't because of niggly injury. If he does go out on loan, send him down to my mate Mr. Yetton down at Truro. Sounds like they need someone who can hold a ball up. But I think if you played him in the 10 position or attacking midfielder in the National League, he'd tear it up because he's a very, very competent footballer, and I think he's just been genuinely unlucky. So you got to feel for him and hopefully he can get some football soon. Or if Galloway's crooked and we can re-register him, then let's get him back in.
It could be an option. Someone did ask me, I think it was Richard Francis, if I recall, said about the whole, how did Bolton manage that? And I said, well, if you've already got a big squad before that rule came in, I mean, you can't just send a load of players away. So the signing on and signing off situation then could well be how they do it. Right, moving on to Wes Harding, who was interviewed after Cleverly today on joining Argyle. He said it wasn't a difficult decision at all, having had conversations with the gaffer and things after finding out there was interest. Hard work, leadership, and getting stuck in. That's what the Green Army can expect from me. He went on to say that this is new to me, moving in the January window, but the lads have been excellent. We're wanting to push for the playoffs. Form has picked up and the sky's the limit. We need to push high. And he went on to say, the further you get in the virtual trophy, because cleverly, I think Ian noted it, said that is a focus for us. We will take that seriously. He said, the more you realise that you can get to a final and play at Wembley. I had the experience at Rotherham. So, I was just going to say, Heather, you're typing and it's coming through loud and clear.
Sorry.
Because that'll be the nails. So all the people listening on the podcast platforms will be going, what's that in the back? It's Gavin.
Nails or the
tapping away
across the keyboard.
It's incredible if you listen back how loud that comes through. But there you go. So told off now. So Carl, you said I'm only joking. You said that he came across really well, didn't he? And from his comments there, I can't wait to see him play.
Yeah. I think he'll fit in nicely. I think it's what we, like I said, with Katic and Maxi both departing us in the summer, he kind of lost a bit of that aggression and no nonsense centre half, and I think he'll bring that back. I'm not saying that Mitchell or Ross isn't. Obviously, I think we know Mitchell is quite defensively solid. He's an old fashioned, a bit like Scar, will head everything. Same like Ross, but I think Ross has been a bit. He's got better in recent weeks. I think one of the goals is probably his fault on Saturday, and I think. If I was Cleverly, I would probably bring Harding in next to Mitchell and go for two old-fashioned centre-backs. It'd be harsh on Ross, but I think trying to fit him down the sides, down on the flank, might be a bit more difficult. But we'll see what Cleverly does. I don't think it will change to a back three either, because the 4-4-2 is working pretty well. So
yeah,
what's happened to Gavin?
I can see. Yeah, Gavin's obviously disappeared.
He's gone to the toilet.
You can probably still hear us.
Thank God he's turned his camera off.
Yeah, exactly. I can see there's been some good memory banks walking down, or whatever the phrase is, between Andy and a few reminiscing on old players in there. As he just said there, Gary Paul and Steve Castle were solid players. Castle scoring 30-odd goals in one season under Shilton. Andrew T, I did see you coming earlier, Andrew. Pepple's #1 fan. Good to see you in. He said, would have loved Elliot Lee from Wrexham. Can't believe he has ended up at Doncaster. Well, speaking of can't believes, Andre Gray turning up at Port Vale as well, Carl.
Yeah, that came out of the blue, didn't it? And there's even some fans saying, "Oh, well, why didn't we go in for Andre Gray?" I think that was pretty obvious. I thought his legs were completely shot when he left us. He looked about 8 stone overweight. He moved like, I don't know,
Jagger.
Like Nick Jagger. Very good, very good. Yeah, that wouldn't have been a good move, and that would then derail, Aseni and Peppel's progress. I don't think that would have been a wise decision. We'll see how he gets on at Port Vale. I don't think he took up rocks over in Turkey either. So I don't think that was ever a goer, to be honest.
No, fair enough.
And neither was Hardy. That was brought up at the Cornish Association as well. That we were never in for Hardy, just to they clear that one up.
Yes, good point. Yeah, I do remember seeing that comment come up. So he's obviously partnered back up with Mumba and that at Huddersfield. So we'll see how that goes for them. That's for sure. Right, what else? I'm just going to check my notes because I'm terrible today. Let's come to tonight even. Let's come to the lineups. While we still wait for Gavin to reappear from the black abyss.
So, Carl, me off the typing. I can hear the typing now.
Say again?
You told me off the typing. All I can hear is someone else typing.
Yeah.
He unmuted himself. Let's mute him then. There we go. So I've muted him just in case he is doing his usual stuff in the background, whatever that is. He is having problems, I think. He is pitting the chat, private chat. So we'll see when he comes back. But he says everything's gone from his end, and we can see his black screen. So Carl, take us through your lineup of what you think going into the Lincoln game and on Saturday.
Tricky one with a back four now, isn't it? With obviously Galloway out and now Harding coming in. Personally, I would, like I said earlier, I would drop Ross, which might be a bit harsh, and play Harding next to Mitchell. Of course, we're missing Solnola as well, so I would have originally put Solnola back where Mackenzie is, but obviously he's suspended because of his yellow card. So I would drop Mackenzie in, give him maybe 50, 60 minutes, and then bring him off and maybe reshuffle then. Obviously, Wirradu and Boateng pick themselves in the middle at the moment, unless Herbie Kane is fit enough, but I don't think he would be. I think he'd be coming off the bench. And then on the wings, again, obviously Curtis will keep his place without question. They'll bring Dale in on the left with Sorinola suspended. And then obviously the top two is Peppel and Watts, unless he goes with Aseni, but I can't see him breaking up Peppel and Watts at the moment. They seem to have got a decent enough partnership.
Fair enough. Well, Gavin has now left the building. So Duke of Devon said, "Stop typing." I do some little private chat typing, but I don't have nails to. So terrible. Oh, there he is. Hang on, where is he? We've got a picture. Let's bring him in. If we have to, yes, we do. So, right, just I'm looking at Gavin's lineup. I'm looking at Carl's lineup now. It is a shame for Ross, obviously, where you've stuck Harding in there, because I think Ross, and I've said this on the show, has been absolutely brilliant. I mean, VW Coco just saying can't leave Ross out. He's been very good lately. It will be interesting to see what he does. But yeah, I think he has been one of the best players in the last few games. Let me have a look at what else you got going on. Oh, Mackenzie, obviously, naturally. He looked a bit rusty, Carl, didn't he, when we were doing the watch along on Saturday against Mansfield? And he just needs those games. But we said on Saturday night he does look like a brick outhouse. So hopefully he can, bring.
I suppose, like Matt Corey said, you could move Dale back to where Mackenzie is, because obviously Dale has played at left back before. I wouldn't necessarily think that's the greatest idea defensively, or you wouldn't have much chance to get up the pitch either. I think that would be a waste. I think just throw Mackenzie in and give him 60 minutes. Whether you start for 60 minutes or you come off the bench and play, 45 minutes, I think just throw him into the deep end and just hope for the best. He doesn't pick up another injury. He's got to get minutes in him somehow. Yes, it might be a bit harsh on Ross, but I think again Harding's probably natural position is centre back. I know he can play across the back four, but I think naturally
he's versatile is the word.
He's versatile.
He's versatile, isn't he? Boateng and Wirradu, I think you wouldn't overly change that. And speaking of Dale, I mean, that shot, oh, God, that was so close to dipping and going in to share the spoils. That was gutting to see that rattle off the bar. Curtis, who's starting to settle a bit more. And again, we all said, agreed, Carl and I on Saturday, that when obviously Watts came off, and rightly so, really. It changed that game. I've seen the odd comment about Amici in there. Also, a couple more SM10 evening to you. Mackenzie won't start, nowhere near fit enough yet. That could be a big factor. We'll see what Gavin's gone with. Green Gruffalo evening to you, saying Dale has only played left wing back, not left back. So let's see. Right, Gavin, that's no, wrong thing. I nearly jumped to the wrong thing. That will come to that in a minute, Heather. So apologies. I've got so many slides. So Gavin, take us through your lineup and why. Oh, a bit of a Harding on the left there.
Right. So obviously Delazush in goal because we've got no Hazard. Edwards and Ross and Mitchell stay as the back three that have started most games. I've put Harding in at left back. I don't think he'll stay there very long, but I think he could do a job for a Saturday. He looks the fitter and sharper of the two. And I've not seen him kick a ball, but just on physical appearance, what I'm going on. And the fact that he's been in and around the Millwall squad all season. If you're training with a championship club that are in the top 6, then quite frankly, you're going to be you're going to be sharp, I think. So I've kept Harding there at left back, and my view on that is going to be Harding will get 60, Mackenzie will get 30. So I don't think either of them can do 90 minutes yet. And then if Galloway's out for a considerable period, which we don't know yet, speculation, then I think that would be them roles reversed over the next few weeks, and they'd both be there. The irony is we've just deregistered a certain young Mr. Benarous, who's played left back for us earlier this season and done a reasonable job. So there we go. So that's my back four. I just think Harding's athletic, strong, combative, and will do us a job at left back for this game. Lincoln are a very quick, dynamic, and very big squad side, so we need to have solidity at the back. Midfield, I've gone Curtis on the right, Wiradu and Boateng, and then I've gone Owen Dale on the left for a suspended Matti Saranola. I thought Dale, he got an absolute tanking, by the way. There were more piss wet 3 matches about his performance on Saturday after the game than
it was brilliant,
any other player.
Brilliant.
And I thought he was tremendous when he came on. Like everyone seems to forget the fact that he's hit one off 25, 30 yards and hit the crossbar, and another 6 inches below, he gets us a point and becomes a hero of the day. He's a really honest player, isn't he? Owen Dale. And I like him a lot. He would have been the casualty had Talai been fit, and I would have played Watts on the left, and then played Pepple up top with Talai. But as Talai still seems like I have a peg like a tree trunk by the sounds of it from what our illustrious head coach said earlier, then I stick him on the left of midfield. He can get up and back. He's got a good shot, etc. And him and Curtis can interchange through the game to keep them guessing. And then I've gone Pepple and Watts up top because I think that's our only real choice at the minute. I will say if Watts does pull another stunt, Mr. Cleverly, please bring on Owen Aseni for next time for Caleb Watson and not a left winger who's trying to play up top, which I thought really destabilised us and left. I know I wasn't on Saturday night, but it left all of our momentum out of the game because he's not an effective press player, is Amici. So that's what I've gone for. I do think that that Herbie Wright again will get some minutes on Saturday in the midfield because again, Wiradu was on one leg at one stage. Boateng has played every minute, I think, of every game near enough since he's been in the club. So having quality to come on, who can put a foot on it and find a pass when they're hopefully as tiring as we are, again, is another good ploy. So and if you've got Abraham back in that midfield, then you're cooking on gas. So that's the squad I've gone for. I think they'll play it a little bit like an away game, high press, but be really difficult to play against. I don't think we'll be trying to be too expansive. I think we'll try and get the ball forward as quickly as possible and try and put them off and pick up scraps in the final third and then try and get a goal that way. So that's what I've gone for. I know there's I've had some compliments for a change on my 11, which is unusual.
Well, I just slipped in with my one saying, can someone give Carl a hug?
Pardon? Why does Carl need a hug?
I think, I think with Harding in that left wing back role, he's gone under his cloud. It does make sense from what
it's not an easy game picking these 11
No, don't
every
make your
Saturday.
excuses. Let's just move on. So know when to pick your fights, Carl. Remember.
Oh, dear. Can't win
But
them
yeah,
all.
no, I think
Can't
that
win
Dale.
any.
Say again, Heather.
I said Carl can't win any.
He's getting battered tonight. He was
Bring
getting
Carl's
battered on the
like, I should
WhatsApp
never
group
invite you
earlier
to
as
one
well
now.
by Nicky. He's getting battered. Oh dear.
So I will. I think, yeah. To be fair, I can't disagree with that. Obviously, you have got a Senny on. Watts does need to keep his head this time and not lose it, because that did change the game, sadly. Yeah, I think with Dale and same with Harding, I think he will switch with Mackenzie. That's a good shout. We got at least that ability to do that. And I forget who it is because the comments are flying in, but the Dale, if Dale has a good game, then he could well keep Sorinola out, and Sorinola has turned a form the last few games as well. So it's
what's everyone's bench, Mike? What's everyone's bench? Because actually, I think that's nearly as important now as the starting 11.
I'm not going to give my bench.
Yeah.
Handbags at dawn, I think Duke of Devon's referring to there.
It's Flower and goal. No. My bench would be, and this is a difficult one actually. My bench would be defensive. Would be I'm just looking through my list now. Sorry, can't take Belarus has gone. Defensive would be. Who do I leave out?
Well, Ross will be.
Sorry, Mackenzie and Such as two. Obviously, Zach in goal. There's three. Owen Aseni is four. What's his name? Is Xavier Michi is five. Our new midfielder Herbie is six, and the seventh would be. Toss up. Jamie Patterson. Here we go. I've done it.
Oh, what did you shout out, Heather?
Put Tegan Finn on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What did hang on, let me get myself straight and narrow. I saw something mentioned about Finn, about to do with like the squad size and this, that, and the other. Something about anyone know?
Yeah. So he's got a even though he's under 21. You've got to register him as an adult player, because if you don't have a homegrown talent in your available match day senior squad, you can only register 6 substitutes.
Gotcha.
To stop people not having academy players or homegrown talent. So in order for that to happen, he doesn't have to be on the bench. He just needs to be available for selection. So now there's he's basically in, and that's meant that Ben Belarus hasn't got a registration anymore, in order to be able to have 7 subs.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad I didn't catch myself short there. I thought I'd seen something and wasn't hallucinating. So thank you, Gav. Matt Argo 83 says, "Have you ever had a waterbed, Gav?" ?
No, well, after a really, 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 really heavy night at rugby at university, I had a waterbed, but it wasn't filled with water, and when I got in it, no, is the answer to that, to be honest.
I did. My parents did have one, and it was, that was a weird thing. So brought back some.
That's a bit too much information, Mike. I really don't want to have visitors of your parents going out on a waterbed.
I'm just saying that I've experienced a waterbed. There you go. Let's just leave it as that.
Moving on.
Is that. Right. Anyway, because I've done this sort of completely out of order, so you can tell folks when I haven't properly set out my agenda. I normally, before we go to the lineups, talk about obviously Lincoln and all that lot. So let's have a little bit of a look at what they've been up to. We all know that they are second in the league behind Cardiff. 2 points, 58 for them. In their last 5 games, they've had 4 wins and a draw. Their last 3 wins coming consecutively. It's a great run of form. They are right up there strongly on the last sort of 10-5, whatever you want to look at form tables that they've got there. Their goal difference is plus 19, 48 versus 29. So, they are pretty good at what they do. Let me just check out some of their key players as I come down here. So, top rated, Adam Reach with a 7.54 from FOTMob. Top scorers Freddie Draper with 6 goals. Top assists Thomas Harmer with 5. I just want to see what position he plays. Centre back, so that's interesting. So they clearly like to play maybe through the back, if I've read that correctly, potentially. So it is going to be, Carl, one of the toughest games. It's exciting because sometimes, and myself and Peter Henwood were discussing this earlier, Argyle tend to do really well against teams that come and attack because they're not going to sit back. They're going to try and have a go at us. And it does obviously, of course, leave themselves open. So there could be a fairly decent number of goals in this game.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard, isn't it? They're in fantastic form. Obviously, a returning player in Sonny Bradley as well. We know what happens with returning players in a lot of games, but hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't want to tempt fate, but I probably have now already. Never mind. Yeah, it's going to be definitely physical. I'm not sure if there's going to be lots of goals in it. I think it's going to be quite a tight affair. Maybe one goal might see us get 3 points or then get 3 points. But yeah,
what's your score prediction then?
I went for 2-0.
Yeah,
2-0 to us. Yeah.
I went for 2-1, which was the same as Herbie in our group, not that Herbie. Gavin, what would you say about Saturday score-wise and thoughts?
I went for 1-0 to us. I think I went for Harding as the scorer because you always score on debut, don't you? It's easy. I think that they've got, just to let you know, they play 4-2-3-1.
Right.
But their wide 10s, if to use a Mironism, are both big lumps. They're both 6 foot plus. So they like to play quite direct, but they can also go through the thirds. I do sound like TC now. I don't know, Jesus, I need to give it a rest. But they've got a lot of height. So, and I think they're number 1 set piece in the division attacking.
Yeah, someone just put that in the chat. Yep.
So but they've got a lot of height. And you remember Sonny Bradley, although he was probably 120 years younger, was pretty good in the air in an opposition box as well when he played for us. So I think tomorrow, certain Mr. A. Mitchell is going to have to get migrant leave in his locker for the half time and at the end of the game, because I think he's going to be spending most of his time tomorrow heading balls away.
Dealing with those set pieces.
Which is another reason why I think they'll go Harding at left back, because he's good in the air. He plays centre half as well. The other version of truth might be you play Such at right back and Edwards at left, but I don't think that'll happen. So yeah, but Lincoln are a good side. I think they've unbeaten in 12 or something along those lines. I've still looking for it. But they're a good team. They're playing well. They're full of confidence. They've not lost many away either. They're hard to beat. So I've gone 1-0, and I've gone 1-0 because I think we'll get a set piece and they won't. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. See a few other scores. Duke of Devon saying 1-1. Terry Orford's going 4-0 to Argyle. That's brave.
I thought he was trying to do the women's score.
Yeah, love that. Speaking of which, Nicholas G, and rightly so, said, what would your team be, Heather, for the men's game against Lincoln? Would you, any thoughts?
See, I'll admit, the men's game still goes over my head.
There you go.
I don't go to enough to know more about it.
Yeah, just agree with Carl because he needs some of that hug and love.
Say Carl's line, best thing you've ever seen. Yeah.
But yeah, I know obviously like Mitchell needs to be at the back. We got no choice with Luca Ashby Hammond. But to be honest, I'm that kind of person that would just throw the textbook out, be like, get all the youngsters on, get Zach Baker in goal. It's like, get Finn on. It's like, get Freddie Isaka on. Let's go wild just for the sake of it.
Love that.
I have no rhyme or reason. I just like, yeah, it's all for fun.
So, well, actually, on that note, I said my score would be 2-1. So we'll see what comes of that. So, but yeah, be looking forward to it after this week. That's for sure. So, so this nice little segue. Back to Heather for the ladies' update. So, well, tonight I have for you because although I've been mad busy, I thought I'm going to prepare this bit. So, also all the ladies fans that are watching, us tonight, as some of you do anyway, but also have come in for Heather's update on the Plymouth Argyle women's team and that big 4-1 victory that sees them head to the final against QPR. Is it?
No, so it's
Sorry?
being held at QPR.
Yeah,
We
thank you.
actually still don't know who we're versing until this weekend.
There we go. So I tell you what, give us a bit of a rundown of that game. But I do, Heather, have the goals, and I also have Marie Hurahan's interview, and also two of the girls that were pit on Argyle. A website, a Facebook page. So yeah, give us the update, and then I'll come to the rest of that afterwards.
Yeah, so obviously we reached the semi-final this time last year, and we got drawn Stoke, which is actually where Marie used to coach, where Tamara used to play, where AB used to play, and where Roisin used to play. And they actually beat us 3-0 last year. So I think this year, obviously, we came in a lot hungry for it. Like, we want to get past this semi-final stage. So we did get pulled Burnley, which is in the Northern League, whereas we're in the Southern League. So same level, we're still fighting for that promotion into the WSL2. They're on an amazing form. So they've had, I think they've done like 13, 14 games, same as us. They've not lost a game. They've either drawn or won. They were sitting in first at the time, but Wolves is behind with the game in hand. So again, they're tight for the top two. So we're obviously fighting for that top two as well. So on paper, you're looking at an even squad, and it was basically down to the day on who was going to get the better of the other, because Burnley is, I do believe, a full professional team, whereas obviously we're
full-time professionals,
semi-pro.
right, Heather? Yeah, they're
full-time. Yeah, so we're semi-pro at the moment, /pro, pushing for it. So we're technically on the weaker hand, because they have the more time, resources to actually put into the training, the analysis and all that. So we were the underdogs, and we took advantage of blindsiding them, basically.
I tell you what, they'll see it in a minute. That first goal for them, though.
As much as it hates me to say that was a cracking goal. That was a cracking goal.
It was a crack. I'll tell you what. Why don't we run those goals? Without the so I have a limit on this package that we have of like 5 videos, so I can't always pit more up when people ask about it. But let's just run the VT and this is a cracking first goal.
Burnley have had much of the ball so far, and here's Ravening. She's going to shoot from a long way out here. Millie Ravening, and it's going to go in.
Oh, we missed it.
Stevens to Wilcock. Helps it on through the centre.
By the way,
it's a Luke Ashby-Hammond moment.
Tyser not quite there. The defender's not dealt with him. Tyser scores! By Burnley, Argyle have taken the free kick quickly. Sent by Francis out to the left-hand side to Tyser. Advances towards
Tiana
the
had
edge
a
of the
great
box.
game.
Tries to trick away down. Was she pushed over?
Wellsfield's been phenomenal.
Penalty.
They are, yeah. All the front three, absolutely, yeah.
And scores!
Proven there.
It rather went through the goalkeeper, but what matters is it nestled in the back of the net. Some space. There's now more space than there would have been as she finds Francis, gets towards the edge of the box. Olivia Francis trying to get it into a shooting position. Goes back to Poole. This will fall for Ellie Noble. Edge of the box. Catches it well. Saved. Tyser coming in on it. Scores 3-1.
I love the commentary energy as well.
And plays it twice to
Rob McNichols did a brilliant job on Sunday.
Dalton battles away, and then Paul comes through the centre. Phoebe Paul is absolutely through. Can she seal it? She can!
Phoebe reminds me a lot of
Argyle do it in style. Phoebe Paul gets the 4th goal.
I love those two kids at the front.
In this club's history, Plymouth Argyle.
So the lad there to the left, he initially looked stunned. Like, I've never seen so many goals at Oak Park. But that, I have to say, let's watch it again. That first goal is incredible, bless the keeper having a bit of a Ashby-Hammond moment.
I feel so bad for H. Like, she had her fingers on it, but the force just must have pushed her back in.
The problem is,
let's hear how what Marie Hurahan thought of the game at the end.
Marie, into the final. You must be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I'm smiling. That's a good start, isn't it? No, I was absolutely delighted. I think all the hard work from players, staff, a lot's gone in to get this team to this point. So just really delighted that everyone gets their just rewards with a fantastic performance today and a nice showpiece final to look forward to.
There is a someone's computer, I don't know whose it is relaying the voice. So Nikki is right. There is a parrot on the video. You can hear it repeat. And also the last video, let's run that one.
It was kind of one of those where obviously we went behind at first, but then from that moment everyone did rally together, wasn't it? And then scoring 4, securing the place in the final, everyone is buzzing with that, aren't they?
Yeah, we knew we couldn't let our heads down after one goal. We've come back before and we knew we could do it again. Obviously Burnley are a really good team, but yeah, we put the shift in, didn't let our heads down, and yeah, we were ruthless today, so yeah, a really good result.
Yeah, we made it count, you know, when we needed to, and you know, going the goal down, like this team never gives up. We've been in that position before, so yeah, we're just all stuck together.
Good finishes as well.
Yeah.
Good finishes. We love.
I love that. There's so much energy there. Just tell us who those two are, Heather.
So Phoebe Poole is one and Tiana Teaser's the other. So Phoebe Poole played in the same league as us last year for Watford, and Tiana Teaser is on loan from Bristol City in the WSL team.
Yep.
And do you happen to know who the Duke of Devon account is there with... No? Okay, fair enough. But Ethan Prosser also saying it was my first women's game, and what a game it was as well. And I think... and someone saying they lost their voice as well after that, was still recovering their voice.
I know someone did mention about, obviously, Burnley did pick up 2 yellow cards, but via a sin bin as well, and they didn't obviously understand, which is, I'm guessing, not in men's games either.
Just obviously most of us know what the sin bin is, but just explain to us, that in the women's game, then, Heather.
So as far as I'm aware, is obviously you still get the yellow card, but if it's for something of dissent, which is basically arguing back with the liner with the ref, you basically get sent off to cool down for 10 minutes before coming back on. So they had one in like the 78th minute, something like that, which obviously we capitalized and we got our 3rd goal on. And then again, I didn't actually see the last one, but someone got sent off within the extra time. And then again, obviously Phoebe Poole capitalized on that and got the other goal. So it's worked to our advantage, to be honest.
Yeah.
The refereeing was much, much better than it's been for a number of weeks as well in the ladies' game, because there's been, I think one week, there was a bloke there who come back from the grave. He had stick little legs, and I don't think he went from centre circle to centre circle. I don't think he went any further than that. He was making decisions in a different postcode. He was so behind play, but not for any fault of his own. The fact he was about 93. So to have proper 3 women good officials, I thought was, well, I know it's a cup semi-final, but I thought they did a really good job.
Yeah, it was actually surprisingly. A friend of mine actually messaged me. I think they were actually all Northern. Every single one of the qualified, the ref and the assistant. So technically should have been more Burnley side, but we obviously just capitalised it on, to be honest, good repping, all female refs as well, which is what you want to see.
Yeah.
And just, it's amazing for the sport as well, just seeing that.
It's Roger Smith, Duke of Devon, has said must have been who that referee was, as Carl also having technical difficulties, leaving and now coming back in. Hope that's
no idea what happened.
I wonder why it went quiet.
Yeah. So Nikki's saying Watts could have done with a sin bin at the weekend. Yeah, absolutely. Does it work? Is it quite effective then? So seeing that through the game, have you seen a few get sin bin? And does it prove effective?
Yeah, obviously last year they slightly introduced it. I know. I think one of our players at the end of the season, I want to say it was Ella, that picked up a sin bin because again, dissent with the ref. So it basically gives them a timeout, almost like a toddler. It's like, right, you need to go take yourself off, calm down for 10 minutes. And then basically they just need to get themselves back into a mindset to either come out and play the game or I'm done, like I've lost it already.
Yeah, no, well, look, it's, there was talk of a VAR question was asked at the Cornish Fans Forum and all this stuff. I mean, it has been a shocking state of affairs with refereeing this season. Hopefully, just need to prime Gavin's wife in case he ends up having an issue with us live on air. As he's still coughing away. Touch wood, because we don't want to jinx that, do we? Duke of Devon saying he was at the Cheltenham game away as a liner, and I honestly thought he was going to collapse. Gavin, I didn't know you'd taken up from officiating.
Is that me or the other guy? There was honestly that referee that day was just, I can't remember, it was a home game, Heather, you'll remember. I don't think it was the Watford game at home, but it might be the one game before that. But the guy was about 100 years old. He gave the really dodgy penalty that Phoebe bought. But he was literally stood on the halfway line when he gave it, and you're like, what? I think that was to give us three. I do need some night nurse. You're right. Give us a 3-1 lead, but
it must have been them because I think I remember the group chat was going nuts about it because obviously they were watching it on the Plymouth Argyle on the TV, and they're like, "Oh, what's with the lino on the dodgy knees?" And we're like, "I don't know." It's like they're not saying anything to us.
No, well, it's we do have fun and games with referees, don't we? So I think anything else to add? I mean, Carl and I have sorted out some tickets for the Exeter game on the half-term week. So I told Sophie that when I got home from work, and she was rather excited. She's 9 now. Is she? Christ, I had to think then. But she's been to a game a few years back, and she sort of, I don't know if she really understood it. Carl takes his daughter most games, so they'll both, I'm sure, enjoy it together. Voodoo says, I just appeared, just woke up, been watching the rugby. Of course, Six Nations tonight. That'll be another reason for a lower than normal numbers. But good to see you drop in, Voodoo, that's for sure. So yeah, Carl will be in Block 2,
we purchased tickets to Block 2, but like Heather said, you can sit anywhere because there's no actual seat numbers.
There's no like the men's game, so it's a free for all basically.
Yeah. So we'll sit over on the Mayflower, no doubt. I'm sure, Mike.
Yeah, we'll work.
I'm in hospitality that night. I think you are as well, aren't you?
I should be. I'm still waiting to actually get back about that. I've been confirmed, but they've not confirmed it with me. So I'm like,
oh, okay. Yeah, I think there'll be nearly 3,000 for the Exeter game, Mike. Sorry, I think there'll be nearly 3,000 there looking at the seating plan for the Exeter game.
Yeah, they did.
Which would be phenomenal for ladies.
They've extended it into the Devonport, haven't they?
Does that mean everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, not just me and Mike?
I think
I would say there's a few more.
I think because they got the women's free event at the start as well, so that's from 2:30. So a lot of people are like, oh, take the kids for that half term, and then actually the game's free afterwards. This, do that. Grumpy lad, the tickets are free. You just need to get them on the Argyle website.
Yeah, they are free. And even for you, Andy, you see, you don't have to spend anything to go to that one. And you can go to the
under 14.
Have an extra pint or two beforehand.
Andy's not under 14.
Well, to be fair, I had to get, because my son now wants to go, so Carl did the tickets earlier. But were they a £5, Carl, for adults?
No, they were free.
Yeah, I was going to say. I didn't think so, just Jana.
I don't know if that's just for the Exeter game or the Argyle.
No, it's not. Normally it's £5 for adults, under 14 is free.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, thank you.
I'm a season ticket holder, so I just go when I turn up.
If you are there and you see us, I mean, I would avoid us, but if you are there and you see us, then come and say hello.
I'll be wearing my Ross shirt.
Yeah, and Voodoo's saying fair play to the ladies for not having every player injured as well. So
actually, the only injury we've got is obviously Lulu Jarvis. Oh, and Caitlin Smith, but she should be back soon.
But that's the difference, I suppose, between why Marie's team's been successful. They've got a small squad, but they've had Lulu, was it August, wasn't it, when she broke her leg against MAP?
Yeah, the first qualifying game for the FA Cup.
That's right. And then Caitlin did a collarbone against Watford or Oxford?
Oxford.
I can't remember. Oxford at home.
No.
But that's it. Everyone else has been fit all year. So they've. The good thing about the ladies is there's no transfer window, so you can sign people.
Where do the ladies train? Do they use Harper's at all?
Yeah, they're at
Harper's and Folston Park.
Okay, so they're using the same pitches we use, and they haven't got the injuries.
Or they do Marine, because they're part of like Marine Plymouth Academy, so they train down at like MAPS as well at the university.
There was a question that Stephen Kubat had as we were about to wrap up, and he said, "Why is the final being played at Loftus Road?"
That I don't actually know.
It's the designated ground that as a because it's on a Saturday, isn't it? Which is unusual. It's on the day we play Rotherham, so I'm assuming it's a London ground. Obviously, they're not going to put it in Wembley. They'll be like probably maybe 8,000 there for the final. So I don't think they're going to put it in there. But they're away that day. It's a London club, so I think that's why they've done it. I think I'm going to go to the final.
I want to say I did read a post something about it, something to do with it was like years ago. It was like the first home for like the Women's Cup. So I think they're bringing the history of it back in. But I will have to double check on all that, obviously.
Fair enough. Good bit of history there. Matt Montgomery says rugby recording because the Block 9 podcast clashes. Love it.
There's commitment. Heather, you're going to give a bit of a 2-minute summary of the preview of Gwalior on Sunday.
Yeah, so obviously, I am actually going up to Gwalia. I'm taking Scarlett up as well. I'm actually combining both pageants and football that day, so I do apologise. I will be more glammed than usual. We have actually played them twice because of the FA Cup. So we played them at home for the league game first, where we won 5-1. And Ellie, Tiana, Charlotte got 2 goals and Tamara scored. So we got the full 3 points there. And then they come back fighting for the FA Cup qualifier and knocked it down to 2-0 after that game. So they obviously are getting stronger. They are currently sitting, though, just above relegation, I believe. I have actually got my notes here. I think they are in 10th place. Yes, they are in 10th place. So they're sitting on that border of relegation. So they need the points as much as possible to try and keep themselves safe for the rest of the season. I have been doing my nerdy notes, figuring out all the games for the weekend. Basically, if we can win and Watford and Oxford can draw, we will be looking at sitting in first position over the weekend, which would be fantastic for us for that fight for WSL2.
Yeah, agree.
Obviously, Bournemouth have got more games in hand now.
Yeah, it's the games in hand, isn't it?
They've obviously been pushed again because they need to play their semi-final game against West Brom.
West Brom, yeah.
So we will find out this Sunday who we got in the final, but also we're finding out where we are sitting more confidently in the league.
Yeah, no, well, let's see what happens. All you can do is win your games, that's for sure. So,
better to have points on the board than games in hand, isn't it? It's no difference to the men's side.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely
I think they'll have 3 games in hand now by the looks of it, so they've got a lot to catch up in at the end. But as well, they've done the back-to-back. They've got promoted up, and now they're fighting for top of our Liga, so they are coming out all guns blazing. But again, they do have them. I think they're more professional. They've got that backing as well from the men's team.
Yeah.
So
one in the hands, worth 2 in the bush.
There is that. I'm too tired to pick up on these. Too tired. So is Home Park Voodoo, says Stephen Cooper in response to Voodoo saying Loftus Road is an excellent ground for a final. Andrew T saying, are you worried about losing players if you don't go up, Heather?
Not yes and no. Most of our players that have been brought in have been in the same league as us anyway. Obviously, with the exception of obviously Tiana Teaser being on loan. I think if we can't get promoted, I feel like we might lose her more than anyone. I think she might be recalled back to Bristol to keep her in that WSL2 standard. Most of the other girls, though, I would hope after almost, if we don't go up and we're literally on the cusp of that 3rd place, is that I feel like they are hungry for it and they might stay to get us into that position for next year.
I think we should be more concerned about Marie, shouldn't we?
No, Marie signed a 3-year deal, I think. So I think
deals mean nothing, do they? If someone wants to poach
it does in women's football because there is no money to buy people out. Yeah, there'll be. But I think if we win the cup and don't go up, I think that squad will stay together because they seem very tight knit. And it's not the money's not dictating the game anywhere near as much in women's football, Carl, as it does the men's.
No, I know money-wise, but even if a bigger club came in,
whispering in the ear, going, "Oh, come over here for another 20 quid." And that I think there's a lot around. A lot of people came. Correct me if I'm wrong, Heather, but a lot of these players came down because they played and worked with Marie in the past.
Yeah. So Tamara, AB, Roisin are former players of Marie. So basically, when she moved, they left Stoke and just came straight with her. A lot of the other ones have just been recruited. I think because of her passion and because of what her aim is with the club. And she's actually had the club back her as well.
Carl, also, what you probably don't realise is a lot of the other grounds that are played on are real outboarding, sort of 50 men and their dog turn up on a public park type pitches.
Did you just define Carl there?
No, not at all. Whereas because the ladies play at Home Park, and having spoke to Andy... Jesus, a slip of the tongue. Paul Byrne at the Watford game, he said that the women are going to play there as, moving forward pretty much indefinitely, even though they'll have the Folkestone Park as a base. That's a massive thing for the ladies, isn't it? Heather, to play at Home Park on a Saturday, because you've been to all the away games. There aren't many other good club, if you look at take Home Park or Lewis, you're not going to have any microsecond of doubt where you're going to play your football on a Sunday.
No, because even if you look at Folkestone Park, like we have to stand around for that game, and most of the league games, the facilities, not a lot of the women's do play in the men's stadiums like we do, so it is a lot harder. Like you find yourself standing around a lot more. You've got a bit of a burger bar here and there, whereas we have the facilities that you can sit in comfort, that you can enjoy the game, like get into the atmosphere and just feel it a lot more with that stadium feeling.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
so I don't think there's anywhere near the cynicism of managers, players that there is, and we're basically playing the equivalent of Wembley every week for the ladies, because I don't think, like, Bournemouth don't play at the Bournemouth ground, do they?
That was a big controversial, obviously, for the FA Cup game against Man City, where they weren't given the chance to.
So I think this squad, if we win the cup and we don't go up, I think the squad will stay together, because I think next year they'll bulldoze the league.
Yeah, I know.
My opinion.
I've seen Peter's comment saying, do the top two go up together? And it's not quite like that this season. So obviously in the Southern, the top one will for definitely, and second place have to burst Northern second place for that third spot.
Yeah, there we go. I was going to bring up Peter's comment, so you've done that brilliantly. Right, so I think we're coming to an end, as Voodoo is throwing a few words around there and says, as we are doing idioms. But I think... yeah, I'll be glad when the week's over, this one. But it'd be good to get back to Home Park and see a good game overall, and hopefully the right result, because it's getting a bit squeaky bum now in that sort of bottom. Doncaster getting a result, making work. They now jump out of that zone. You could easily find yourself back in there. And Voodoo will be back on it about Cleverly again. Maybe he's taking a rest. Did you watch the Cornish Supporters Forum, Voodoo, or not? Let us know. But good to see you back in. Nicholas G saying, good podcast again. Hope for the win on Saturday. Ethan Prosser says, I think Wimbledon's women play at the men's ground. There's another one for you. And Duke of Devon saying, I think I intimidate the visitors when he's watching, or he or she, I don't know who, is there watching the games. Right, final thoughts from you, Heather, to start tonight.
Obviously, women's side, we're looking forward to it. Hopefully, obviously, going to get the 3 points. A lot of supporters are going up as well, so we're going to be making the noise up there and showing the supports for the girls in green, and that's all they can ever ask of us, I think.
Yeah, excellent. And Gavin, from you?
I'm hoping for 2 sets of 3 points. I think the ladies will beat Gwalior quite convincingly after the. If they perform anywhere near what they did on Sunday, they'll beat them 3-4-0. The men, so if we can get a 1-0 win, but I think that's the most difficult game of the season so far, including Cardiff. So yeah, we've got to be on our wits. Let's hope the new boys come in and add some real value. If we get 3 points this Saturday with the players coming back for Blackpool, Valentine's Day, what a better way to celebrate Valentine's Day than getting 3 points at Blackpool, eh? So yeah, I'm looking forward to the weekend, but with some trepidation. Yeah,
no, definitely. And Carl, from you?
Yeah, just echo what Gav said. Obviously, hopefully we'll pick up 3 points on Saturday. It'll be a very, very difficult game. I think if we do manage to put in another decent performance and get those 3 points, I think it'll be a massive statement, and maybe we can dream of maybe having a late push for the playoffs, and hopefully the ladies do the business as well and bring home 3 points. And if results go away, we end the weekend on top, which would be good.
Yeah. Well, whether or not you've been following the women's side for a while now, or you're just joining the bandwagon like Carl, then...
I mean, what were the crowds under the previous manager, Gav? Ryan Perks, was it?
Well, Heather will tell me better, but 300, 350...
Exactly. So... You telling me that nobody's jumped on the bandwagon since Marie?
The days when they were at Manadon, it was like one man and his dog and a bag of crisps.
So the support has grown. So that's why more and more people are interested in going.
Carl, why are you biting, Carl?
I'm not biting. I'm just saying. It's just like they boil my piss.
Now don't let them affect you. Listen to me. Listen to me. Anyway,
can we get a vlog of Marie? At Marie and TC, not Marie and TC together, that would be casting aspersions, but we get a day in the life of Marie. We maybe speak to someone at the club. Heather, you're in the know.
We can harass the media team to be like, come on, everyone's asking for it, let's see it.
I'm a dab hand with me little Osmo Pocket 3 that I use in work.
Hey, the last thing Marie wants when she opens her eyes in the morning is you at the bottom of the bed going, morning, with your mobile phone.
Hang on, Marie, can't get the shot. Can you just don't?
Especially if it's a waterbed, Mike.
Oh, dear.
Classic.
Yeah, when he gets led away in
Plymouth says,
handcuffs.
"Great
I was
show,
just
crew."
doing a documentary.
Carl will be there with a boom mic.
It'll be like Deadline Day all over again.
I feel like it's more going to be like Michael McIntyre late night show, just a surprise.
Exactly.
Don't let me do my Michael McIntyre. No, it's time to move on. Anyway. Jesus Christ. I've got the energy for that. Voodoo saying a romantic seaside walk among the skips and heroic addicts. Oh, I love that.
Is that the home or Blackpool?
Bo says, far too long time since I last visited Plymouth. Keeping my fingers crossed that I will be able to make the trip to Home Park in April. That sounds good.
A beer, Bo. Yeah.
So it is time. Oh, Grumpy has now bought his ticket for the Exeter ladies game. So, Carl, I hope he ain't sitting near us. Because he causes trouble online. Anyway.
Well, I believe VTBS is actually going to the game as well, so you might be able to meet him.
Oh, Carl, you swore on the show.
I'm just going to shove you guys in a corner by yourselves in a minute.
Yeah. Anyway, everything's got to be just fun and banter. Come on, people. Life is too serious. Laura Camille says, will the girls' final be on Argyle TV? We will end the show in a minute, but as Laura is dialing in and watching in from Canada, she deserves a mention. Go on in, Heather.
That I'm not actually sure about. I'm still obviously waiting about all the details back from the club. But it's either, if we can't get on the Argyle TV, I do believe it's potentially being picked up by like TNT or something, like they have done with the FA Cups for the women, because it's new. They are trying to obviously promote as much women's sport as possible. So potentially it will be on TV somewhere. If not, we will try and get a live stream somewhere else for people to watch.
Well, Carl, there we go. We can, join up in partnership again at that away game.
Have a watch
Are you
along.
able to come?
We'll TikTok it on the stream. Well, sadly, there's a men's game, isn't there, to deal with?
Is that home or away the Rotherham game for us?
Who knows? And it's at home because it takes us out of a hole for the minute.
We're away at Rotherham.
Away at Rotherham.
There we go.
So
anyway,
potentially, Mike, it might. Yeah, we'll look into it.
Double watch
I'll
along.
probably be at the women's game watching the men on my phone.
Right. Anyway, it's time to go because that's it for me. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for your kind comments, as usual. We shall, it'll be Saturday. We'll see you in the evening and hopefully with a positive outcome. Let's see what happens with that. But Heather, Gavin, Carl, thank you as always. And Andy, who's been hiding in the chat and enjoying the conversation in there.